Hello and welcome to Recovery Session. My name is Niran. After a week of training hard, your full body, I know you guys have been doing a lot of upper body, lower body workouts. Now let's begin the warm-up. Now for the warm-up, we will do one set of 10 reps each, like we have been doing for the other two sessions. We'll ensure that we lengthen the muscle before we hold for that recovery. So we improve mobility, so you can move better during your strength or cardio sessions. Now the first movement for today is going to be the lunge hip flexor with torso rotation. So I want all of you all to come down to that lunge position. Starting off with the 90-90. Ensure your knee is below the hip and your feet are forward where your knee is in line with the heel in the front. Chest up from there. Should drive forward a little where you feel that light stretch on the hip flexor and the back leg. That's where I want you to feel that light stretch. From there, keep your hand forward. Now, no bending the elbow, okay? Just rotate the upper body and back. It's a very small range. So don't try to go too far, because when you try to go too far, you end up bending the elbow. We don't want to see that. Chest up, hand forward, drive the knee forward a little, but feet flat. Don't lift the heel up. Let's start 10 reps, nice and easy. Rotate and back. Just rotate and back. Very small range of motion, I repeat. Very small range of motion. Just there and back to center. We're not going the other way. Whichever leg is forward, we're going to turn to that side and come back. Nice and easy. Stay with me on the pace. We're not trying to go too fast, definitely not too slow. Just make sure you're mindful of feeling that stretch on the hip flexor as you rotate. Got 4 more reps. Chest up, 1 more. And let's switch side. Let's get the other leg forward. Once again, repeat. Knee below, right above the heel, and the back leg, your knee should be below hip. From there, drive forward, hand forward, chest up, start. Now, every time you rotate, when you're taking the hand out, breathe out. That's what I wanted to focus on, breathing out as you rotate. And when you're turning, make sure the knee is not falling out. The knee should continue to point forward. Keep driving your hip forward. Your focus is to maintain the hip right there and rotate the upper body. That's from your mid-back only. 3 more reps. Excellent. Now the next one we're going to be doing is the inchworm. So for that, you're going to be standing up tall. Keep your feet shoulder width or slightly wider. I'll show you all the movement and then tell you all. Then you can decide how wide you want to keep your leg. So option 1, keep it slightly wider than shoulder. I want you to drive your hips back as you keep your knees straight. Reach your hand down. Walk down to the plank position. Straight line from shoulder to heel. As you're coming back, keep the leg straight. Walk back up and stand up. In case you're finding that hard, you can slightly bend the knee. Slightly. Don't do it in a hurry. Make sure you feel that stretch on the posterior chain, your hamstring, your lower back a little when you reach forward. Chest up, drive the hips back. Let's begin. Reach down, walk forward as much as you can. If you guys are very comfortable, you can keep your legs closer. It makes it harder. But you're going to do that only if you're able to keep your knees straight and you're not bending the knee at any point in time, is when you will get the legs closer. If not, just maintain that slightly wider than shoulder width stance and try and keep your legs straight throughout the movement. Remember the breathing. Do not hold your breath when you're doing any of these movements. Anytime, even if you're holding the stretch or when you're moving, just be mindful of that. We've got 4 more to go. You can pick up the pace a little, but don't rush it, guys. Never rush the warm-up. That's when you got to take that time to really connect with what's happening with your body. Understand where you're feeling stiff. What are the points you need to be working on a little bit more? We just got 1 more to go. Come with me. Drive back, reach down, plank position, and walk back up. Excellent. Now the next one, that's going to be a dynamic IT band mobility drill. For that, we're going to cross the leg. Now, make sure to keep both feet flat. Don't go too wide. Don't try to push your leg back too much. Comfortable. A good pointer would be the back leg toes in line with mid-foot of the front leg. Yeah, that's a good pointer for you all to keep in mind. Both the legs straight. Don't try to lock the knees. Keep that straight. Drive your hips back. Reach down as much as you can and come back. What are we trying to aim for? The stretch in the IT band on the back leg. The back leg on the outside of the back leg is where you're going to feel that stretch. 10 reps. Let's begin now. Reach down and back. Make sure to drive your hips back as much as you can without lifting your toes. Sometimes your toes will come up, don't worry about that. But in general, try and keep your feet pressed against the floor. That's the heel and the ball of your foot. So what you're focusing on. 5 more reps. Yeah, stay with me on the pace. Yeah, we're not trying to go too fast. And the reason for that is you don't want to do something called ballistic stretches where you're trying to bounce off. You're going to go slow so you understand how much the muscle is moving as of now. Now let's switch leg. I'll tell you more. Switch leg. Make sure that, remember that pointer, back leg toe in line with mid foot of the front leg. Let's begin. Both the legs straight. I come back to what I was saying. So the reason we're going slow is because after a hard week's workout, you are bound to have stiffnesses. Yeah? And we don't want to try and release that all of a sudden. We want to slowly release that. Yeah? Because trying to do that too fast is when injuries happen. Yeah? So you want to do it slow. You want to slowly release it. You're not going to go back to normal length after a hard week of training just by a couple of reps. Slowly build into it, warm those muscles up, and then stretch them out to get them back to normal length and improve also. 4 more reps, nice and easy. Exhale as you go down. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 last one. Excellent. Guys, the next one is going to be something called dynamic pigeon pose. The focus of here is the glute stretch. That's your powerhouse for the lower body, and all that work you've been doing with the jumps and the squats and the lunges. Going to stretch that guy out well. Yeah? So for that, we will come to the pigeon pose. Cross one leg forward. Yeah? I'm not the best in terms of flexibility, but depending on how much you can go, just move your leg back and try and get your hips as close to the ground as possible. Now from there, also ensure to make sure that your hips are facing the floor. Common mistake is there when you're trying to, hips are facing away, hips facing the floor. Now from there, both the hands forward. Whichever leg is forward, the same hand is going to come in, and then we're going to open out as much as you can by lifting the hand up. Whichever leg is forward, same hand. Come in and up. Let's move. So you're going to feel that, one in the glutes, and second, you're also going to feel it on the sides, the obliques. Yep, and that's what also does a lot of assisting work for all the rotation that happens. 5 reps there. Breathe out as you go up. As you come down, try to get the chest down. Stay with me on the pace, not too fast, not too slow. 4 more. 2 more. 1 last one. Excellent. Now let's switch leg. Let's get the other leg in. Cross the leg in. Walk back with the back leg first. Take your time to set up. Yeah, take your time to set up. Now, whichever leg is forward, same hand comes in and then up. In and then up. Make sure that you're going maximum as you come up. Lift the hand up nice and high and rotate the upper body without moving the hip. From whatever position it is that you've been able to reach in terms of your flexibility, just stay over there. But make sure to feel that light stretch. 4 more. Last 2. And that's done. Brilliant. Now the last one is going to be, we got 2 more. The next one is going to be the lunged inner thigh stretch. For that, We're going to come to the lunge position. Lunge is generally we're here, yeah. But for the inner thigh, what we're doing is we're turning the back leg in. Don't go too wide a step. What I want you all to do is stay where it's comfortable, and from there we're going to be driving the knee forward. It's going to feel that stretch on the inner thigh. Keep the chest up. You will kind of face forward, but not fully there. Yeah, we're somewhere in between, but the focus is on this region where we open this out and then we are moving forward. Once again, very small range of motion. Let's start. The leg that is out, which is going forward and back, make sure the heel stays down. Small range of motion. Drive forward and back. Make sure to feel that light stretch on the inner thigh. Back leg, the toes are pointing back, okay? If somebody wants kind of losing balance, you can use your hand for support. Got 4 more to do now. Two more. One last one. Excellent. Now let's go the other side. Get the leg out. Don't go too big a step. Please remember that. Don't go too big a step, okay? Your heel and knee in the same line. Let's begin. Drive. Like me, some of y'all might feel more range of motion on one side, which is common. When I say common, I'm not saying neglect it. Just saying don't be worried about it, but definitely work on trying to get a balance on both sides. And that's something you have to do to ensure good movement patterns when you're lifting. Yeah, that's something I want you to keep in mind. Yeah, so once again, bring in that consciousness in terms of what is happening on each side, how you're moving, what are your restrictions, and then start to work on it in detail. Let's go 3 more. This particular stretch is actually one of my biggest weaknesses. Ouch, exposing it to you all. We got one last one. The next one is going to be the Malasana, or the hip lift. This one is focused on, once again, opening out the inner thigh and the hips. So for this, we're going to deep squat position. But I'm going to show you all options to make sure, depending on any aches and pains that you'll have, alter the depth. Yeah. So here's what I'd like to see all of you all do. I'm going to kind of show it in an angle so you see both. Keep your feet shoulder width apart. As you drop down, I'd like you all to use your knees, not your triceps. Okay, I want you to use your knee. I'm sorry, your elbow. What am I saying? Knee. I want you to use your elbow as you go down, elbow to knee. From there, drop your hip down. Yeah, you're using your elbows to press the knee out. Toe and heel both down. Yeah, drop as low as you can as you keep your chest up, and from there, lift your hips up. Let your elbow remain at the same level. So you lift your hip up as much as you can from there, and come back down. Yeah. So when you go up, you can release, but don't come any higher. Yeah. If over here you're stuck here and you're not able to go up any higher without lifting the upper body up, that's perfectly fine. Stop there. The idea is to make sure you're feeling that stretch on the hamstring. Yeah, once again, posterior chain like what we did for the inchworm. Let's get down, push the knee out to the bottom position, chest up, and start to move. We will go a little faster over here now. Breathe out as you lift your hips up. And as you come down, chest up. Don't be in a hurry where your chest is still down like this. Lift your chest up, look forward, and then lift up when you drop your chest. Now lift your chest, and then drop your chest down. Excellent work so far, guys. Keep it nice and simple. The focus is recovery. Yes, it will get your heart rate up. You will feel a little tired while doing it. But when you're done, you're going to feel awesome. So 2 more. 1 more. Ay, ay, ay. Ouch. Did squats yesterday. I can feel that. Oh, excellent. We're done with the warm-up now. So So we're going to move to the part where we're going to hold the stretch. Over here, we're going to be doing 2 sets of a 30-second hold. Yeah. Purely focusing on feeling that muscle lengthen. Yeah. So let's jump into it. Grab some water if you need to. And I'm going to be talking a lot about food, and not a lot, but a little about food, how that helps you with recovery, and also about being mindful of what you eat. So I'll keep speaking about that as we start. But the first one we're going to be doing today is something called the half saddle. For that, we're going to bring one leg back. Here the focus is the hip flexor and your quadricep muscle. Yeah, the longest muscle that's there, that's the muscle in the 4 that we're going to be really focusing on. Quadriceps has 4 muscles. Yeah, one of them is a bigger focus. All of them get stretched, but one of them is the bigger focus with this particular one. So now, try to get your knees pointing out, not forward. We don't want your knee pointing forward. Okay, shoulders pointing forward, your knee comes out. Try to bring it out. Front leg bent. From there, I want you all to move back. Some of you all might be comfortable lie down. I'm one of them. You can do that only if your knee is not coming forward and not lifting up. Yeah, as long as the knees remains pointing out, we're good. Let's begin. If some of you all are finding this hard, you can kind of stay up. You can use both your hands and just slightly walk back a little. Yeah, but keep the shoulders back while doing that. This is another option you have, just to stay over here. Yeah, if not, drop back all the way, stay there. Now start to really focus on where are you feeling the stretch. Yeah? When you're holding the stretch, ensure that it's not pain. It's not something where you feel like it's going to tear. Yeah, it's just bearable pain is where you need to be, nothing more. Let's switch side now. Let's go the other side. I'm going to take some time to explain the first round and then speed it up on the second. We're going to do 2 rounds of this. Opposite leg, drop down. Remember, knee pointing out, front leg is bent. Focus on that muscle starting from the hip flexor. Yeah, so where your hip is, you're going to feel that muscle all the way from there, going on the inside of the knee. Yeah, that's the muscle you're going to be feeling. Breathe. Don't hold your breath while you hold a stretch. You're trying to hold the length of the muscle, not your breath. Great work. Coming to the mindful part that I keep speaking about. Focus on what's happening. How deep is the stretch right now? How much are you feeling? So in round 2, you see the difference. Yeah. Let's switch. From there, we go to pigeon pose with the torso up, glute stretch, cross one leg forward, similar to a dynamic pigeon pose start position. Now from there, start by just dropping the upper body down on your elbow, push the hip down as much as you can. From there, hands back, lift the chest up, so you feel a little bit of an extension also. Yeah? Let's begin. While you're doing the pigeon pose, try to keep your knee in line with the shoulder on the same side. Knee in line with the shoulder on the same side. Chest up. Look forward. Your constant effort to push your hips lower. Constantly try to push your hips lower and lift your chest up higher. Once again, the first round, I really want you to keep that focus on how deep you feel in the stretch, and then analyze if it's the same in round number 2 or how much better it is. Slowly come out of it. Let's switch side. Let's go the other side. And go back as much as you can. Drop down to the elbow and hand back, chest up. Let's go. Yes, food, I think I spoke about just before we started the stretches. Food's a very, very important part of recovery. Yeah? Whatever goal that is, yes, it helps us depending on calories. What our goal is, calorie deficit, it's going to help us with weight loss. Calorie surplus is going to help us with gaining. Yeah? That said, in terms of recovery, I'm telling you more. The next one is going to be, let's come out of that, the next one is going to be a butterfly stretch. My worst. This is something I'm really bad at. Here's what you got to be doing. Yeah. Keep your feet together. I'm actually making you do this stretch because it's still important. I'm constantly working on getting better. We all have our weaknesses, and this is one of the big ones that I have. So keep your feet together. Push your knee down as much as you can. Mine doesn't go too far. I'm okay saying that. And from there, some of you all might be as bad as me, just keeping your hands back, keeping your chest up. You might be there. For the ones who can reach forward, do that. Another option that you'll have is to partially cross your leg. Yeah, just a little bit. If that allows you to kind of move better, then I want you all to do that. Find what works for you, where you know it's going to open out the hip. Yeah. So let's start over there. This is where I feel the step that I am at. Some of you all might be here. Yeah. Let's begin. Yeah. I'm going to show you all both the options as we move. Keep your chest up though. Focus on keeping your chest up. Constantly pull your knees down with the opposite muscle. It's part of the mindfulness. Good job so far, guys. Just focus on these sessions so it helps you come back stronger in your training. That's your only focus. And we are done with that. The next one's going to be the standing straddle with the twist. So we're going to focus on the hamstring there. So for that, get your legs wide where you feel a light stretch on the inner thigh, but you're still comfortable. Yeah? Because from there, what we're going to be doing is driving your hips back, reach down, and then move to one side. Yeah? Both your legs will remain straight. Just turn the upper body to one side and hold. Stay. If you might just be there, you might keep one hand down. That's fine. Wherever you know you're feeling that stretch on the hamstring, you're able to rotate a little bit, stay over there. Nutrition and recovery, coming back to that topic now. So when we spoke about food, surplus is gain, deficit is weight loss. And a lot of food that you eat, depending on the nutrients, it's very important that we focus on the minerals and vitamins also, not just the carbs and the protein, because they help with recovery as well. Let's switch side as I continue. With the other side, both the legs straight. So minerals and vitamins is what helps the proteins absorb, and they also absorb in the body, and they help with recovery, so you come back stronger in terms of energy levels. So it's very important that you're very watchful of what you eat. Don't get stressed about it, but definitely start to learn more and see what works well, depending on what's available locally for you, and add that into your daily meals or your snacks. Come back to center and stand up to do your IT band stretch. For that, we cross the leg. Once again, like we did in the warm-up, the back leg, toes in line with midfoot of the front leg. Both your legs straight, drive your hips back and reach, stay. So having your fruits, having your nuts and seeds, your veggies, all of that bring in a lot of nutrient value into the diet, which helps recovery. So ensure you're packed with that. Don't only focus on the protein and carbs, and worse so, don't focus only on calories, because that's not the way for you to be looking at food. Slowly come up. Let's go the other side. Cross the leg once again. Back leg, toes in line with front leg, midfoot. Drive the hips back. Both the legs are straight. Reach forward as much as you can. Remember, the focus is to feel that stretch. The back leg, the outside of the back leg, all the way from your hips to your knee. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come up. From there, we move to the mid-back stretch. We're going to be standing for that. Keep your feet shoulder width apart, very comfortable. Knees are soft. Interlock your fingers in front. Interlock your fingers. Keep your hand in line with the shoulder. From there, push your shoulder blades forward. Push your shoulder blades forward as much as you can. And stay over there. Elbows soft. Just going to create that little C, the letter C. Don't try to lock it. Don't lock the elbow. Elbows bent, push forward as much as you can and stay over there. We generally say don't round your back, but this time I'm saying round the back. Yeah, round the back. Feel that stretch in the muscles in between your shoulder blades, and we are done with that. The next one's going to be a chest stretch. That's the last one for this. Interlock your fingers in the back this time. Pull your shoulder blades back together. Shoulder blades back together. Elbows soft. Push your hand away from the body. Chest up. Look up. Push your hips slightly forward as well. Constantly focus on pulling your shoulder blades back together. Keep your elbows soft. And take the hands away from the body. 10 more seconds there. Remember, this is just round 1 of 2. So next one should be able to go more. Find that easier. Let's switch. Now we go back to the first one. This is going to be round number 2 now. Let's all of us sit down for the half saddle. Let's jump right into it. And now focus on what happened in round 1 and how comfortable you are in round 2, or how much more you're able to go with the same effort. Okay? Let's get the leg back. Knee in line with the hip, pointing out, front leg bent. And you go back as much as you can. Stay there. Focus. Yeah, just see how you're feeling, what's going on, where are the restrictions. Round 1, hey, I was struggling over here. Round number 2, after I'm warmed up, I feel a lot better, I'm able to move better. That's the kind of thought process that's going to be running in your mind. You're focusing on how much better you're feeling. And trust me, you're going to be smashing the next week's training sessions. And let's switch. Let's go the other side. Knees pointing out, front leg bent, in back. Never run away from your stretchings, guys. Stretching is extremely important after every single session. Just the training bit where you're feeling that adrenaline rush is one part. We are all lovers of that. Yeah. But for us to be able to do that again and again and again for months and years, we need to ensure that we recover well through good amount of stretches, good nutrition, and good sleep. Yeah. Recipe for recovery. Slowly come up. Now from there we switch to the pigeon pose. Forward, cross one leg forward. Remember, whichever leg is forward, knee in line with the same shoulder. Drop on your elbow to start. Get the hips down. Press your palms into the floor now. Chest up, look forward. Keep pushing the hip down. I'm sure you guys are feeling a lot better than you did in round number 1 in terms of how much you're able to move and how comfortably you're able to move the same range that you did in round number 1. That's the beauty of doing mobility. Imagine you're doing this every week to start, and smaller sessions of this after every single training session. That's going to add up, or like we say, compounding effect of getting better in terms of mobility. Let's switch. Other leg. Knee in line with the shoulder the same side. Come the elbow first. And then palm. Press your palm into the floor. Chest up. Look forward. Hips facing the floor. Keep trying to get the hips closer to the ground. And these stretches help. Even like I've just driven for a good number of hours before coming into this, and you can already feel much better because you're sitting. It could be driving, it could be just sitting and working, whatever it is, muscles get stiff. Got to keep stretching. Change. From there we go to my favorite, being sarcastic, the butterfly stretch. Feet together. Reach forward as much as you can. This is me. Or like I said, just this is the version I'm going to do for you all now. Just cross the leg, not fully, just partially. It's giving you space for your knees to move down and reach forward as much as you can. That's another option. Yeah, you could hold on to something. Find something you can hold on to which is sturdy. and reach forward. These are different versions of all the stretch. All of us will have our weaknesses. Yeah. Do the easier version, but do it consistently and you will get better. There is no two ways about it. Slowly come out of that. The next one's going to be the standing straddle with a twist. So hamstring focus, legs wide, fairly comfortable, light stretch in the inner thigh, drive your hips back, twist towards one side and stay. Both the legs are straight. Big focus on breathing now. And every time you exhale, I want her to try to go a little lower, okay? Every time you exhale, try and go a little lower. Like I was saying earlier, it's not only after a hard week of training that you need to do stretches. Even when you're sitting a lot, if it just happens to be a long day of sitting many hours for whatever reason, you got to stretch. Let's change to the other side. Even after something like that, just doing one round of this, but at 50% effort, will help you a lot in terms of injury prevention, in terms of range of motion, pain-free range of motion, and an improved lifestyle. A few more seconds there. Slowly come back. Stand up, do the IT band stretch, cross the leg, both your legs are straight, both feet flat, drive your hips back, reach down and stay there. Keep pushing the hip back. I'm sure all of you all have been able to go a little bit more in round number one. It doesn't have to be a drastic difference, yeah? It cannot be a drastic difference in a matter of a few minutes. But that little difference means it's good. Yeah, just a little bit. Even if you've been able to maintain in both rounds, it's great, because it depends on how sore you are after your training session. Both the legs straight. Try to go a little lower for the last few seconds. Slowly come up. Let's switch side. Drive back. Stay there. Both feet flat, both your legs are straight. Drive the hips back. Reach down as much as you can. Focus on feeling that stretch in the outside of your back leg. Every time you exhale, try to go a little lower. Slowly come up. From there, you do the mid-back stretch. Interlock your fingers in front, hands in line with the shoulder, elbows soft. Around the upper back. Reach forward as much as you can. Feel that stretch on the muscles in between your shoulder blades. That's your focus. Breathe. Focus on each of these muscles, really relaxing. Or rather, focus on a good training week ahead of you. Come out of that. The next thing is going to be a chest stretch. Interlock the fingers in the back. Pull your shoulder blades back. Elbows soft. Hands away from the body. It's your last one. Yep. Chest up. Start to smile again. So you're nearing the end of this recovery session. You can go back to training for the adrenaline rush that we always seek. Chest up, look forward. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work, guys. Now we are done with this recovery session. That's session number 3. So you guys can go back strong into the last week of season 2 belly burn with Shui. I know it's going to be exciting. So get in that power-packed session with full enthusiasm. Enjoy yourselves. You're going to have all the energy now after a recovery session like this. Yeah, you can do bits of it to ensure that you're able to push hard through the whole week. And I'm going to see you guys in the end of next week for another session of recovery to finish off season 2. You guys have a fantastic week ahead. Have a blast, and remember what I told you all, yeah, for recovery: nutrition, rest, and stretches. Have fun.